Gravy will make or break Christmas dinner, and getting organised in advance will help you even more. This recipe is super simple and makes a delicious gravy and really doesn't take much effort whatsoever. So here we've got our veg that we're going to use, a little bit of herbs, some stock, which I'm using beef stock, some red wine and some plain white flour. So the first step is to prepare our mirepoix, and we're using some carrots, some celery, some leek, some onion and some rosemary and thyme. I'm just going to roughly chop that all and then give it a quick wash under the sink, and then we're good to go. Once that's washed, give it a good rinse off. So now we're going to add in 2 tablespoonfuls of butter into a medium pot on a medium to low heat. We're going to add in our garlic and our rosemary and our thyme. And you can see that I'm rolling the rosemary and the thyme in my hand. That's to bruise the leaves and bring out as much flavour as possible. We're going to give that a good mix and allow the butter to melt and to absorb all the flavour that's from the rosemary, thyme and the garlic. Once you're happy with that, we're going to add half the mirepoix into the pot on a medium to low heat so we don't fry it. We want a nice soft, gentle cook. The other half of the veg we'll use as a trivet to cook the meat on top of later. After 4 or 5 minutes, we're going to add in some plain flour, and that's going to help to thicken it up. Of course, if you don't want to add flour, you don't need to. This is where keeping the pan on a medium to low heat really comes into play, because we don't want that flour to catch and burn. Next up, we're going to add in our tomato puree and give that a real good mix around before we add in our red wine. Once the flour is combined and it's had a couple of minutes to cook out, we're then going to add in some red wine. We're going to add in about a large glass of red wine. Once we've got the red wine in, we're going to give that a good mix, and it's going to form, effectively it's going to form a paste. It's going to be like a thick red kind of paste which is going to thin down when we add in our beef stock. Like I said, I'm using beef stock, but of course you can change that to chicken or veg or veal. It's entirely up to yourself. And of course you can change the herbs as well. We're going to let that cook on a low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then once it's ready, we're going to bring in our trusty assistant, give it a final stir, and then we're going to pass it through a fine sieve to catch all the veg and the herbs so we'll get a nice smooth silky sauce. As I've said, this technique is all about getting yourself ahead, giving yourself less work to do on the actual day. Once you've strained it, you'll see the sauce is kind of like a light brown in colour. Now if I was at work, I would add a little bit of gravy browning just to sort of make it a little darker in colour, but there's really no need, especially what's going to come next. So I add the sauce back to the pot, and the reason I'm doing that is because of what comes next. So this is, imagine if you're reheating your sauce. You put the sauce back into a pot. On the day you bring your turkey or your chicken or your beef out of the oven. The tray full of lots of juice, we're then going to pass that, or first of all we'll give it a quick scrape down. Once we're giving it a quick scrape down, we're then going to add all that juice into the pot through the fine sieve of course, and that way we've got a really nice sauce, and that will also help to darken the sauce up too. Now you can really see that rich deep brown colour that the roasting juices have given the sauce. I like to give it a second strain just in case, you never know, just in case there's any little bits through it. And there we have our homemade gravy from scratch and still using the juices from our roasting tray. If you liked that and found it useful, please hit that like button, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.